Now I've switched to a clean Strat sound, and I'm going to show the compressor and a couple of other pedals here. This beat up old compressor was my first Carl Martin that I got in '97, and it's done me well. It's just real clean, really good sounding. You can get it to sound real squashed, but it's actually a more transparent sound than a lot of compressors, and I like it for that. It's very studio sounding. It's a great pedal. So this is my sound without it. I just have it so it's kicking in a little bit of gain and a little bit of squash. Compressor. It also doesn't do that breathing thing that a lot of compressors, like you hit it and there's like a sort of uneven time, like for a second. That's just a real smooth, gradual kind of compression that I really like. I love compressors too. I have pretty much every compressor ever made. Now, something I've found that sounds excellent after the compressor is, as I mentioned before, on a couple of these pedals, the Plexitone and the AC Tone, and a couple of the other Carl Martin pedals, there's a boost function, which is just a clean boost. But I've noticed most pedals that have, most boost pedals also have a little color to them, which can be really nice. And these, if they have a color to them, they just have a fattening. It sort of fattens up the sound a little bit. I'll show you. So that's with just a clean sound with the compressor. When I put on the boost, it not only boosts it quite a bit. This is turned pretty low too, but it stays clean. It doesn't have breakup to it, but there's a certain fattening. And I noticed with the overdrive sound, it really helps that too. It just fattens it a little bit. But you can set it so you don't get breakup out of the amp. You can still have a pretty clean. The compressor helps that too, because when you go through a compressor, it makes it so your signal isn't hitting the next thing as hard as it would without it. So really good combination is the compressor into the boost function on this. Next thing I'm going to show is the beautiful TremO'Vibe, which this is a new one, but mine, I also had it over 10 years, and the poor tremolo side died after about 8 years, and I know it's probably something simple to get fixed, but I'm loving having a new one here. Same design. I just really love the sound of the, I think it's my favorite vibrato sound. Musical vibrato. A lot of them are a little too seasick sounding. Like they aren't usable in a track because it's too wobbly. I've noticed this is a more musical. It's easier to set it so it doesn't have too much wobble. Really, really musical vibrato. And then the great thing about this pedal is instead of having to get a vibrato and a tremolo pedal, it's got a great sounding tremolo in it too. also love the quietness of the pedals, all the pedals. It's they've made their pedals studio quiet, but they still have vibe to it. Sometimes I've noticed when pedals are really quiet, if the company's made them so they have no noise, sometimes they can be sterile sounding, but the Carl Martin pedals, I like that they still have that great vibe, but it just doesn't have a lot of shh, you know, kind of hiss sound.